Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Red. I am Irish Red, and today we are going to work on a couple of things. As you can see here, we have a little bit of a setup going on. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Let's store it, not take it all. I did a little bit of work off camera here. I first off went ahead and I created another one of these travel anchors, and I set it up to the spawners down here. I got tired of, up and down the elevators and yada yada yada, just a total pain in the butt. So, did that. I also came in here and I had noticed with all of our wither creation last episode that our wither beheader had actually leveled up quite a bit. So I went ahead and I finished out upgrading it. I repaired it with Manulian, like we needed to do. And then I upgraded it so that it is unbreaking, which it was only reinforced 3. So I had to add 7 rounds of unbreaking to it. And then I also added 8 levels of beheading because we only had a 20% chance. So I added the beheading to it to finish that out. So now we have a 100% chance to behead every wither skeleton that shows up in here. It also gained life stealing on its own. I didn't touch that, but it also gained sharpness as well. And I went ahead and used up the rest of the modifiers minus that one modifier that we just got not too long ago. And I put more quartz on it, nether quartz, to sharpen it up even more, and now it is pretty much a one hit, one kill on those wither skeletons. So that is awesome. That definitely speeds this up quite a bit for us and makes it a lot nicer. We have a few things that we need to attend to today. I went through and of course, created some more withers and got some more nether cubes, nether stars. I also came around here and I made a couple of sound mufflers and protected them with our block protector here. Unfortunately, it is not working for the wither. The wither is still loud and in charge when he spawns and dies. So I thought maybe we could get lucky with the sound mufflers and it would muffle the sound of the wither being spawned all of the time. No dice, unfortunately. However, we need to work on something else. We were actually completely overrun with liquid XP. So if we come down here and take a look, I've already emptied these tanks out, but as you can see, we still have a little bit left in this one from some of the withers that I was spawning. But both of these were full, and our tank over there at the spawners was completely full. Well, I have actually devised a way. Hi, how's it going? I have devised a way that we can actually take care of that. So let's go ahead and take care of these slimes here because they are being annoying. There we go. But yes, I have devised a way that we can gather all of the essence and make it very, very efficient. So let's first get started with that. For this, we're going to dive into a mod that we've already touched on for one area, but not another. We're going to go into Ender Tech. Oh, it's not actually Ender Tech, I don't believe. Ender Storage, there we go. And we are going to make us a couple of ender tanks. So, for the ender tank, we need a cauldron, a couple of pieces of obsidian, 4 blaze rods, some sort of wool, and ender pearls, if I can spit it out. Well, I already know what color I want these to be, and that comes in handy. If you know what color you want your ender tanks or ender chests to be along the top, you can color each section of wool individually with the dye, which means that you need up to 3 dye, pieces of dye. or if it's all one color, you need 3 of the same color. Well, that's not bad. You know, it allows for a lot of combinations. However, if you want it all one color, what you can simply do is, I want this to be like a lime green. Just because, you know, it's liquid essence we're dealing with. And then if we come back here and we get our wool, if we can spell it, there we go. And we put the lime, now we get lime wool. Now why do we want lime wool? Well, if we take a look, it says that the ender tank is made with a piece of wool. The nice thing about it is you can use any colored wool up here at top, and it will automatically color all 3 of those pads the same color. So if you use white wool or standard wool, it'll make them white. If you use a brown wool, it'll make them all brown. I want all lime green. I'm not going to use lime green for any other reason. So if we put lime green wool up there, we will get 3 lime green. So let's go ahead and see what we need here. We need 3 cauldrons. So let's have the system craft those up real quick. There we go. And all we're going to do is we're going to replace that white wool with the lime wool, and as you can see, it's actually kind of hard to see, but they are all going to be lime green, lime green, lime green. So let's get 3 of these. There we go. And I will show you here. We grab the tank. You can see the top of it. It is all lime green. That's really cool. That's really handy. So the first one we are going to go ahead and we are going to set up right here. Now, with that, I'm not exactly sure why this conduit rather, did that. So let's go ahead and grab our Yeta wrench here and see if we can get down here. And I wasn't real crazy about that fluid conduit anyway. So let's go ahead and grab a pressurized fluid conduit. There we go. That way it'll just clear out the conduit faster, and hopefully it won't act so derpy. And what we can do here is we can shift left click. We want the east side. We want that to insert. And the upside, yeah, we can leave it in and out for now. And as you can see, we have a little bit of essence in there because there was actually a little bit of essence left over from the first ender tank. So what we're going to do here is, instead of using the tesseract to transfer this liquid, we are simply just going to replace just a couple of these fluid duct, like so, and we will place an ender tank right like that. And as you can see, there's just a touch of essence in there, or liquid XP. Well, now red, why is that? Well, that's because just like our ender chest that we made, you know, for our quarry, the ender tanks share the same inventory. So if we come over here, and we've already got a crescent hammer here. So if we grab that, and then we put an ender tank there, and we will grab our Yeta wrench here just to make sure that this, yep, that's inputting. Perfect. So now, if we come down here to our AE room, we can get rid of this. We can pick that up, and we can also get rid of this. And that just kind of cleans it up just a touch, you know, nothing major, nothing huge, but it still makes it a little bit more nice and neat. So let's head back up here to our main room. And we aren't going to need the crescent hammer anymore. Not going to need the XP, but what we will do is we will set that down there. Let's just make sure that all of these are completely empty. So we'll put one there. And one there. And then give it a whack with our wrench just to make sure they're empty. And then we will actually break them with our pick. But they're not going to stack. Oh well, that's okay. I'll stack in there just fine. So there we go. And of course, right click. And we can pull out all of this liquid XP. Except for, you know, just a smidge. Go figure. So for that smidge, what we'll do is we will go ahead and we will break this ender tank. There we go. And let's put this other tank up here for a moment. And then what we're going to do is tell this conduit back here, if we can get to it, because we are running 90 miles an hour. There we go. On the upside, you are going to extract, always active. There we go. That tank is empty. So now if we put this up here, boom, it sucked out all of that essence, and it is putting it straight into our experience obelisk. So that's really cool, because now it doesn't matter where our essence comes from. Doesn't matter if it's from our wither spawner out there or from downstairs. It will come over here into our ender tank and get sucked straight into our obelisk. Let's go ahead and test it, make sure it works out. So let's go ahead and we're going to just tell this to be active with the signal only. And there's no signals here, so it will remain active. Let's go ahead and pull out a couple of these nether stars. I did up the nether stars or nether cube. Instead of holding 10, I believe it was, now we're holding 20. Of course, I was doing some testing of other things. So we have 33. I'm just going to go ahead and grab them all out. So there we go. Those are pulled out. And what we should see, we come out here, is of course our wither spawner is ticking down. There it goes. Here comes the wither. And what we'll see is that when the wither spawns and dies, the essence comes and goes directly into the tank. Now, as we saw before, we got, there we go, had another one incoming. I didn't want to, you know, get drowned out by the wither. So this guy should be shut down now. Yep, he is. Ah, good, the bar finally went away. I was getting worried that it was not going to go away. So as we can see, the tank was empty. We brought it out here. The wither spawned. He died. The tank got some liquid XP in it. If we come in here and we check, boom, liquid XP in here. However, because we have 3 tanks, we can also come down here and see that, boom, there's liquid XP in there. So that's really, really handy, because all of the XP will end up in the same place. Doesn't matter where the source is, it will all end up here. And all we have to do is make sure that this is set to extract, always active. And there we go. It will clean out that tank, put it right in our obelisk here. And we have, you know, almost unlimited liquid XP for experience. How awesome is that? Also, in between episodes, I went ahead and I upgraded our armor. I took quite some time to get the enchantments that I wanted. Some of them were quite easy because I was able to use, our enchanter right here and just directly get what I wanted. Others I had to set up a enchantment table and all of that fun stuff and do the dodo trick of, put a book in there and grab an enchantment and pray that I got what I wanted, until finally I was able to get protection 4 soulbound on our helmet. I was able to get protection 4 soulbound and thorns on our chest piece. I put soulbound on our legs along with protection 4, and soulbound on our boots. On our sword, oh, look at that list. We have sharpness 5, looting 3, wrath 5, reaper 5, and soulbound. Now, wrath does a lot of damage, especially being that it can be combined with sharpness 5, on top of which reaper 5 allows us to get the mob souls even better than what we were getting before. It gives us a higher percentage chance to get those mob souls. I went around just killing, a few endermen here and there. I was in the end for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes or so, just kind of gathering up the endermen, much like we did in previous episodes. I walked away with almost a stack and a half, if not a little bit more, of souls. Filled my inventory pretty much the rest of the way with ender pearls. About 2.5 stacks of enderman heads. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Plain and simple. Just absolutely ridiculous. I also added to our draconic bow. We now have infinity and power 5 to it. I was able to get quick draw, which means that our draw speed is even faster. And multi-shot. I don't think that the multi-shot is actually working, but I'm definitely giving it a try. And of course, soulbound. Now, with all of these having soulbound, that means that if we die for whatever reason, yeah, it's a little bit faster draw speed. Not, crazy, but it's a little bit faster. But anyway, if we die with this armor on, because it is soulbound, we will keep this armor. We will not lose it for any reason. When we respawn back here at home in our bed, the armor will still be on us. And that is a great thing, because where we're getting ready to head, which will probably be next episode, because we've got just a couple more things that we need to wrap up before we can head out there. We're going to be a long ways from home with no real easy way to get back. With a few exceptions. In fact, we can go ahead, and I don't think I made one. No, I did not. So this would be a perfect time to make it. So let's get to work and take a look at Draconic Evolution again. And what we are going to want from Draconic Evolution this time is we are going to want this Enhanced Charm of Dislocation. Now that's going to require a Charm of Dislocation, which is actually fairly simple. Some blaze powder, a couple of, draconium dust, and an Eye of Ender. There we go. That was not all that hard. And now, to make the Enhanced Charm of Dislocation, going to need some ender pearls, some draconium ingots, the charm that we just made, and a wyvern core. So let's go ahead and put everything in there. We need some more draconium. So let's go ahead and get one of those up. And we need a wyvern core. So let's go ahead and get that crafted up here. There we go, wyvern core. Start that. That's going to use one of those nether stars that I was working on. And there we go. Enhanced Charm of Dislocation. We're also going to need some ender pearls for this, because this Enhanced Charm of Dislocation actually requires fuel. So there we go. We get a little tooltip down there in the lower right. It says fuel 0. If we hold shift and right click, we get the interface. So let's go ahead and add fuel, and boom, we got a ton of fuel. Now of course this is edited. The INI, or the config, has been edited so that we get more fuel from ender pearls than usual. But I believe, if I remember correctly, originally, if you don't mess with the configs, it's roughly like 8 teleportations with the enhanced charm and dislocation per ender pearl. So yeah, you know, it's kind of costly, but it's not horrible. But if we go ahead and hit add new, it is going to add a new coordinate. So let's not quite do that yet. Let's come right over here and stand, and it does matter which way you are facing. So let's go ahead and stand, say right here. We will shift right click and add new. We're just going to call this home. Hit enter and boom. There are the coordinates in the overworld. We named it home. And if we hit this little button here, it locks it so that it is completely locked. We don't have to worry about it. Perfect. So now, if we come out here and we are holding our charm of dislocation, we can either hold shift and scroll if we have other places, or we can shift right click, or we can just simply see how it says home down there in the tool tab. We right click, boom, takes us right back home where we wanted to go. How awesome is that? This is going to come in very, very handy in the very near future, probably even next episode. But because we're going to be going on long adventures, we want to make sure we have enough power. Now, our bow and our sword, they hold 10 million RF. That's not a whole heck of a lot when you think about it. Even our armor holds 10 million RF, but you actually saw, you know, how much damage we actually take, especially if that entropy gets too high. That 40 million total armor between all of the armor set pieces just does not last very long. So what we are going to make is we are going to make a draconic flux capacitor. And as you can see, it will hold 250 million RF. So let's get started. It's actually not going to take all that much. We are going to need 4 awakened draconium, 4 draconic energy cores, and a wyvern flux capacitor. Well, the wyvern flux capacitor is going to take 4 of the wyvern energy core and 1 wyvern core. So let's go ahead and get the cores. So we need 1 wyvern core and 4 of the wyvern energy cores. There we go. And now we can go ahead and throw that in there, and boom, there's our wyvern flux capacitor. So now, for the draconic flux capacitor, we need 1 awakened core, which is going to be 4 more wyvern cores. So let's get 4 more of these coming. And it's going to take just a moment. There we go. And we should have enough. Bingo. There is our awakened core. Now we're going to need 3 of the draconic energy cores, which again is going to be 3 more wyvern cores and 12 energy cores, wyvern energy cores. So let's go ahead and get 3 of these and 12 of these. And again, doesn't take too long. So there we go. And now we're going to make 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And that will be it. So we shift right click everything in. There's our awakened core and everything else. And there is our draconic flux capacitor. So let's go ahead and grab this out here. And we're going to throw the ender pearls back. Yeah, that was one ender pearl. Gave us, what, almost a million? Say the lit here. Yeah, it gave us 1 million ports. So yeah, I kind of OP'd it just yeah, a little bit, but you know, sometimes you just gotta OP stuff. So let's come over here and we will throw our Draconic Flux Capacitor in there and get this thing charged up. Because what this Draconic Flux Capacitor does is it acts as a mobile power source. So as our armor or whatever starts to drain, instead of, you know, breaking down or us taking damage or even taking durability loss on our armor, it will start pulling power from the Draconic Flux Capacitor. And it's really simple to use. It is off right now. We just simply shift right click and boom. It is charging stuff in our hotbar. And use an upgrade modifier to boost these stats. Well, I'm not exactly sure what that means. But there we go. It is now keeping everything nice and charged. So if we come back up here to our main room, and let's see here. Let's grab our bow. Let's come out and just kind of like, you know, mess around with our bow. And fire some shots. There we go. As you can see, the charge is still at 10 million, but our Draconic Flux Capacitor is down to 249.6 million. So it is drawing power from the Draconic Flux Capacitor to power our bow. How cool is that? And of course, you know, to shut it off, we just grab it, shift right click, charge armor and held item. There we go. We have to cycle through it a bit, which I was not aware of, to tell you the truth. I really actually haven't made any of these. But there we go, it is inactive now, and it is right as rain, just sitting right there. So now we have extra armor, we have even more powerful armor, powerful weapons. We have a way to keep those weapons and that armor fully charged at all times. We are ready for, oh, we also have a way to get home. That's probably the most important part, is getting home. Because like I said, where we are going, we are going to be quite a ways out. And it is going to take us quite some time to get home from where we are without some sort of portal system. That's why we went ahead and made that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be a different episode for sure. So for now, this is Irish Red. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to leave a comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like, if there's anything that you'd like to see me build in the near future. I love hearing from you guys, and I love, you know, getting back with you and communicating with you and just, you know, hanging out with you at times and, you know, hearing what you guys got to say. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as well as turn on those notifications by hitting that little bell icon and turning them on that way. That way you guys will never miss any of the new content as it comes out. And don't forget, you can also check me out on social media, facebook.com/IrishRedGaming, or you can head over to Twitter and even send me a tweet. Again, it's real simple over there. Just go ahead and, you know, tag me in it at Irish Red Gaming, and I will definitely get that tweet from you guys and respond as quickly as possible. But anyway, guys, I hope you have an absolutely great day, and as always, I will definitely talk to you in the next video as the thunder rolls. See ya.